Hi, it's Aaron, welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to talk about handling price objections without discounting. Price objections are normal. Professionals don't panic. They reinforce the value. So what are you going to learn in this one? Why customers question price, why discounting weakens your position, how to respond calmly and professionally, and how to redirect the conversation back to value. Now, we've all heard this at some point. That was more than we expected, or another quote was cheaper. When this happens, most installers panic. Now, if you've never heard that, you were definitely too cheap. But back to the point, when this does happen, most people panic. They start explaining, defending, or even lowering the price. That's usually the wrong move. Price objection normally means one of three things. It can mean the customer doesn't fully understand what's included. Have you done a great job of doing that? Ask yourself honestly. They're comparing different levels of service. 9 times out of 10 when we get quote comparisons, they're not apples for apples. Someone sends this quote and they get a different quote to compare it against. You need to make sure that the customers are aware of the services you're providing, the quality of your product, etc., etc. Otherwise, if you're getting a really cheap kitchen against one of ours, that's a better quality, they sometimes will be more expensive. This is what you've got to explain to customers. Or it's because they need reassuring before committing. Challenge on price, in my experience, is sometimes because they just want that nudge to justify it. They want you to justify it just a little bit, just so they can say yes. So never see it as a challenge. See it as a step forward, part of the process, because the fact they've even mentioned it means they want to proceed. There's just something that needs to be put in place here so they feel comfortable to do so. So instead of rushing to discount, slow the conversation down. Bring the focus back to the project. For example, no problem, let's walk through the design again so you can see exactly what's included. Even if they don't ask you to do that, it's important that you do it. And this time, maybe think about the things you didn't include last time and think, well, I need to mention that this time because I left this out or I didn't mention that. There will be things that you've left out. And this is now your second opportunity to reinforce the value. So example, explain the design work that's gone into it, the planning involved in your project management, the product quality that you're actually providing here. Remember that apples for apples, who are they comparing you against? The structure of the installation process that you're going to carry out. Are other people providing the same level of assurances that you are? And the project management and aftercare. I will look after you for years to come. Are other people saying that? Again, apples for apples. Because most of the time, the objection disappears once the customer clearly understands the full project. And remember, professionals don't compete by being the cheapest. They compete by being the most structured and trustworthy option. Now, if a discount is agreed, it must be accompanied by a change in spec to reduce the cost. Never discount by removing profit. Now, the quick wins here are pause before responding to price concerns and think about it. Revisit the design and scope first, always. Stay calm and confident and reinforce what the customer is buying. Because the common mistakes are discounting too quickly, apologizing for the price, getting defensive, or talking about the cost instead of the value. So always understand the value and present your next quote with absolute confidence.